Hi everybody! Today we're going to try making art journals. I feel like art journals are really important, especially right now where we're all staying at home and we're all confined and probably kind of getting on each other's nerves a little bit. And it's a good way to get out your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings in a creative way. And so for kids, I feel like it's like super helpful, and even for adults. So we're going to show you how to make one out of stuff you probably have around your house. Hopefully you do. But art journaling is a visual diary. It's record keeping, I'm reading this off something, combined with creativity. It's a place to record your thoughts, memories, and emotions through images, art, and words. I just wanted to give you the definition of what it was, so you could understand how it's different than just a plain diary where you're just writing page after page after page. Because I have a hard time keeping a diary. I always like, I'm gonna keep a diary, and then I give up because I don't want to sit and write that much. So I love the idea of art journaling because it can be a picture, it can be just colors, it could be stuff you found in magazines, newspapers, it could be just words, it could be a drawing. It's like whatever you can think of to get your emotions out. So let's get started. Thank you. So what you need is an empty cereal box. My cereal box wasn't empty, so I just pulled out the inside, rolled the top, and stuck that back in the cupboard. It'll be just fine. Now, once you have your empty cereal box, or any kind of box, we also used Welch's. You're going to cut along the edge and pop both ends so it opens up like a weird cereal box book of sorts. And then you're going to figure out what size do you want your art journal to be. So we decided to go 5x7. It's small, it's easy, it fits places, it doesn't make you feel like you have to fill a whole big page, but if you want to, go for it. You could do, this one you could probably do a 7x10 if you wanted to get real big. But once you get your cereal box or whatever box you're using open, and you figure out what size you want it to be. We already cut some, so I have a template. We're doing 5x7. So once I measured out my original one, so I went like this, and then I made marks with a marker. I need a marker. Thank you, my assistant. I like never have what I need when I need it. Thank you. Okay. You would make marks. So if you were like, I'm gonna do a 5x7, you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna do a 5x7. You probably have a better way to do this than me. And you draw the line, and you get the gist. And make your size. But since I already have a template out, I'm just gonna use my template. So I'm gonna lay it down. Once you cut one piece, you then have your template. You have your piece to then just trace. So a cereal box this size, you could make 2 art journals out of it, which is kind of fun. Try to do this left-handed. And I just follow that line right there. And then I need my scissors. Hopefully you guys can see. I kind of like the Welch's box better because it's a little thicker. So it felt more stable than a cereal box, but that's okay. Cereal box works too, and it's not that big of a deal if it's not as thick. Exactly. I don't really know what that sound effect was about, but then again, I rarely know what her sound effects are about. Okay, I'm almost done cutting out my first. This is gonna be the front cover, or it could be the back cover of my art journal. Doesn't really matter. They're both gonna be the same size, hopefully. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use this other side because my box got a little crunchy. It's got some wrinkles. And then I'm gonna outline this one. If my wonderful assistant will just make sure I'm in the frame, that would be really cool. now. Set that one aside, I don't want to lose it. Oops. And try to carefully cut out my back cover. I'm calling this one my back cover because it has a little bit of a wrinkle in it, so probably won't look as good as my front cover. Ooh, I'm trying to follow that folded line. I probably should have drawn a line on it, but I got it. I haven't done it yet, but thank you for the support. Okay. Almost there, bear with me. This is those moments when I think maybe I should have done this and then sped it up and then post it and fast forward so you could just watch like a 2-minute video instead of like a 20-minute video. Okay, let me see if they're the same size. I think they're pretty darn close enough. Okay, so let me get rid of the rest of my cereal box. We don't want that right now. Okay. Now what you would do is you decide what kind of paper you want inside of your art journal. And so we decided to go with cardstock because we had some. And we did the same thing and measured and cut 5x7 pieces. You just can do that with a ruler, marking it, cutting it out. Or if you were lucky enough to have a chop is what I call them, the big paper cutter, like this. That's what I used. It was a lot faster. If you do have one, make sure you get adult to help you cut them, and maybe even get an adult to help you make the art journal. It'd be a fun thing to do with a parent, a grandparent, older brother or sister. And then we're going to, once you have that done, you would then mark where you need your holes to be because you want all your holes to line up. So on this one, I did the holes about, 4 inches apart and about 1.5 inches from the top and 1.5 inches from the bottom. So I already made little marks on where that would be on my paper. And then I would take my little hole punch and line it up. Oops, let's do it this way so I can actually see, make sure I'm lining it up. Hello, little hole punch. And make 2 holes to go through it. If you have a big hole punch like this, you could do it yourself at home. You just adjust the ends, which is what we did. So again, it went a lot faster, but you can do it either way. Let's see if it matches up with those. Nope, we won't be using that one because I didn't hole punch those very correctly. And you want to check as you're hole punching your holes in your cardstock or your plain white paper, your construction paper, whatever you have, you're going to want to make sure as you punch them that check them with the ones you've already done to make sure they match up, because you want them to match as close as you can, and you don't want to do a whole stack and then be like, wow, none of them matched up at all. Okay. So now we've got our paper that we're going to use. We have our cereal box or Welch's box ready to go. These ones have already been hole punched to match the paper. I need to hole punch these, which I'm going to use my big hole punch because I know it's measured out to the right size, hopefully. And I'm going to slide it in there and hole punch that. And then I'm going to check it and make sure it matches with the paper. Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling it, oh no, it does. It does, we're good. We're good, thank goodness. This one, because it's gonna be my back cover, actually it doesn't matter, you could have it go either direction. For some reason I want this to be my back cover, but I'm gonna cover that, so it really doesn't matter which way it goes. You just, again, wanna make sure you get the holes hole punched in the right spot. And then check and make sure that it matches up too. And I think we're good. Yeah, okay. So we'll set our paper out of the way. Now what you're gonna do is decide what you wanna use to cover your front and back covers. So I recommend either some wrapping paper. Here's a little bit of wrapping paper. You could use wrapping paper. Everybody's usually got some around the house. You could use a picture you've drawn. I've got like this kind of watercolor paper that you could either like watercolor it or color it with markers, colored pencils, whatever you want. And you could cut out the size you needed and make it fit. If you have a drawing you've done you want to do, put on there. Or if you have scrapbooking paper. So I think I'm going to use scrapbooking paper. The one that I'm really want to do is this one right here. So I'm going to pull off a piece of scrapbooking paper. Hand that to my lovely assistant. And I'm going to turn it over to the back side because I don't want to make marks all over the front. And I'm going to take my cover and put it in the corner over here because I want to save as much paper as I can. And I'm going to use my Sharpie. You could use a pencil. I just don't want to have one handy. And I'm going to draw the other two sides. Oops. Let's go this direction. And then I'm going to cut out that piece. That is my dog in the background playing with his squeaker toy. Okay, let me get that. Perfect. Okay, now I'm probably going to want to hole punch this too. I could glue it on first and then just go through and re-hole punch, but see, we definitely going to have to hole punch again. But I'm going to want to make sure that it fits, looks pretty good, like it. I think I'm going to glue it on and then I'll hole punch it. So what I'm going to use is Mod Podge. It works really good for sealing and gluing things together. You could use Elmer's glue, just regular in the bottle. If you have a glue stick, you could try glue stick. You'd have to use a lot of glue stick though to get this to stay stuck together. So I would use it as my last resort. So I'm going to take some Mod Podge and probably get it all over my kitchen counter, but that's okay. That's what my lovely assistant is for, to clean that up for me later. Just kidding. But she usually does help me. She's a good helper. Okay. And hopefully I'm in screen. Not really, sort of. Kind of moving as fast as I can, but I want to make sure I get it really good and covered all the way to the edges so that it doesn't just peel off on me once we glue it onto the cereal box. I feel like I need music. Normally I'd have music or a TV show on when I'm doing stuff like this. There we go. Thank you for the lovely music. Okay. Okay. Now she's getting ferocious. All right, and then I'm going to try to match up my edges, glue that on as best I can. And you do the same thing on your back cover as well, but I think I'll probably pick a different one. You know, I think I'm just gonna do the front right now for you guys. Can I have the hole punch, please? Thank you. And I'm gonna put my holes through this. I would say let this dry before you re-hole punch this to make it work, but I'm just gonna do it anyway because that's the kind of rebel I am. Thanks, then. Okay, so now I've got my holes going all the way through. Ta-da! Now, if you have some stickers of some sort that you want to embellish the front of your cover and the back of it, if you wanted to do it there as well too, that's fun. If you have some markers, you could go through and draw a picture. You could write words. I think I'm going to use some of these. And, you know, I really like the one that says create for obvious reasons. Oops, oh, it has a little bird. How cute is that? And I think I'm going to put that right there. Hopefully I'm in screen. Oops, trying to make sure you guys can see this. It matches really good with the background. It probably blends a little too well for my taste, but that's okay. And then I think I'm going to write something on it. And I could put my name, I could do a saying, you know, I could look up some sayings that I really love. Trying to think of one off the top of my head. I think I'm gonna do it in purple. See if I'm in screen. Am I in screen? Life is an adventure. Now, you can do it, you could do as much as you want on this. I mean, you do all kinds of stuff. Add more, you could, like I said, draw a complete picture. You could do a different type, you could do stamps or stencils if you have those at home. Check with your crafting mothers. If you have a mom who's a teacher, I bet she has lots of that stuff. Okay, so then you take the amount of paper that you want. We're gonna pretend I already did my back cover, and then you're gonna take the amount of paper that you want. Be realistic. Are you really gonna use 102 pages? My daughter says yes. I say I doubt that. Okay, so now I'm gonna match up my holes again. Watch them not match. Okay, there we go. They're good. There's a couple things you could do here. If you happen to have book rings, which look like this, that works really great because then you don't have to really do anything except for put them through your paper. Actually, we're gonna pretend my back cover is done too. That was right. And we're gonna put it in place so it has a front and a back. And woo, I can do it. Okay, clip them back together. You could stop right there and you have your art journal already ready to go. If you don't have book rings, you could see if your dad or mom has zip ties. A zip tie would work in there. Just don't tighten them all the way tight or you won't be able to turn your pages. You could use yarn and tie it. You could use ribbon and tie it with ribbon. You can also embellish the book rings and make them look even cuter, which I want to do because I think that would be fun. And I'm gonna cut some ribbon and I'm going to tie a bow. First I'm gonna tie a knot. And for boys, you know, you guys can do this too. Super fun, super easy. You don't have to do flowers on the front. You could do anything you want. Put a football guy on the football something, or maybe you do track and you have track shoes that you draw and put on the front, or find a picture of something you really like. I'm gonna add another one on here because I think that would be cute. And I'll probably do it even on the bottom rings as well. And I'm gonna go through and finish this off screen, and then I'm going to post it in a picture in a little while, and you can see how it turned out. Now on the inside of your picture, on the inside of your art journal, you're just gonna, you can do anything you want. You could write a story, you can write the date and write how you're feeling. You could draw a picture of yourself. You could draw a picture of something outside, go outside and sit in the yard and draw a picture of a flower or a tree, a bird, your dog, hopefully not eating poop or something. And then the back side, if you don't like it being just like this, you could totally cover it just like you did the front. In fact, I think I'm gonna cover the inside cover, front cover, back cover, both the inside, both sides of my back cover. And I think I'm gonna add some more ribbons and might change it up a little bit. And so I'll post my picture and let you see how mine finished, how it turned out. I hope you guys try this. It's really fun, and I think that you'll enjoy art journaling. So if you do it, post your pictures, love to see it. Watch for my post next Monday. It'll tell you what days I'm going to do a class next week because school's gonna be in session, yay, sort of. And we're going to have different schedule. So we'll probably only do it a couple art classes next week, but we still wanna put something out there for you guys. Hope everybody's staying happy and having a good time in your quarantine. Thanks for watching. Bye.